Hi everyone, welcome to Turkish Join Academy. In this video, we're going to be talking about CSS layout and positioning. Let's go. So we have the CSS max width property is like a first layout. So the max width property defines the maximum width of an element. This property prevents the element's width from being larger than the specified value. It can be smaller, but not larger. That's what max, that is maximum width. That is what you're going to it. So the property is useful for creating responsive layouts and to ensure content readability across various screen sizes. Let's move to the next one. So we have problem with max width. Here we have an horizontally centered div with a specific width of 60 pixels. This div has a width of 600 pixels and margin set to auto. The div has a width of 600 and margin set to auto. What happens to the div above is if the browser window is smaller than the width of an element, some of the content will not show, and the browser may add a horizontal scroll bar to the page. But using max width instead, now we use the max width property instead. This will improve the browser's handling of small window. This div element has a max width of 600 pixels and a margin of set to auto. This div element, like they said, resize the browser window to less than 600 pixels and see the difference between the two divs. Now let's make an example. We'll make two examples, div 1 and div 2. And we'll differentiate between both of them. Let's create our div. What are we trying to do here? Let me separate the script element. So we'll come here, we'll create h2, and we'll say CSS max width example. Then the next thing we are going to do is we're going to create a div, and inside this div we'll say this div element has a width of 500 pixel. Then that's for the div. Then we can create like a BR. Then we'll have another div, and we'll say this div has a max width element of. Then we'll give it a class width 1 and width 2. Then we'll come to our this thing, we'll style it, we'll say width 1. Inside this width 1, we're giving it width of 500 pixel. We're giving it a margin of auto, and we're giving it a border which will be 1px, or we can say border which will be 3px solid red. Then let's style width 2. Width 2, we are giving it a max width of 500 pixel, margin auto, and border of. So let's check. Let's give it F12. Okay, as they said it can be smaller. Okay, so let's do like this. Let's add lots of text inside each of them. Lorem. That is that for that. So now, okay, so I think I know why it's not giving us. We already have max width. We have width 1 and width 2. So let's give this one W2 and W1 instead of width 1 and width 2. We already have an element that's taking effect of width 1 and width 2. So we can give them W1 and W2. No. So good. Now let's reduce our browser to see the effect. Can you see one is resizing and this one is resizing, but this one already created an horizontal bar for you to check the rest. Why this one is resizing? It does not care about the screen size anymore. It is giving you what you need to do. So see the effect of max width, what max width has done for us. So that is what max width does for us. Let's move to the next one. So we have using max width instead. Now, the thing for us to do is to just resize and what we just did now. And we could see the difference between max width and width. Let's move to the next one. We have CSS positioning. The CSS positioning is about controlling the placement of elements within a web page. With CSS positioning, you can override the normal document flow. We have the CSS position property. We have the position property specific. The position property specifies the positioning type of element. This property can have one of the following values. We have static, which is default. We have relative, fixed, absolute. We have sticky. Elements are then positioned to their final location with the top, bottom, left, and right property. I hope you understand. Thank you for watching this video. Please do follow us across all socials at Css Academy. See you next time. Bye.